Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Becoming Natalie Dance Raw and Authentically Me series. You're going to hear a lot of crickets. I don't mean crickets as in silence. I mean proper crickets. I thought I would finish up my time in Ibiza walking around the grounds. The wind has calmed down. I'm hoping my voice doesn't disappear and get taken away if the wind does come up, but I'll do my best to edit if it does. So I thought I would do a bit of a walk around so you can see where I've been. So this little walk I'm going to be doing now, it's quite funny. If you could see me now, I've got my dress tucked up in my knickers so I don't trip over and break my Mac. Honestly, the things you do for YouTube. So this is, you can see, this is the walk that I would do in the mornings before or I would go to the beach. But this is basically what I would do. And I've power walked around this, doing 4 miles at a time, listening to the radio and lovely music, getting me into the state of the wish fulfilled and all that stuff. So yeah, just manifesting, visualizing. Yeah, so these are the grounds. So you're going to see this video. I'm recording it on Monday, what was it, 17th, 18th. And you'll see this on Wednesday, the 20th. My last video. I'm going to be recording in Ibiza. Feels weird knowing that I'm coming home. I don't know what I'm calling this video yet. I've got a few things that I want to discuss with you all, which I know that there is somebody out there that needs to hear. So I went in and I got the answers of what I needed to talk to you about, and some fun little light fluffy stuff too. So oh gosh, I mean, I've been basically in Ibiza since on and off since May, and then this time it's been 2 months. So I came out on the 26th of July and I go home on the 21st of September. By the way, I hope you're all doing well. I'm not sure I even said that. I think I was so worried about the crickets and the noise and people complaining. Can't hear you properly. I'm sure you can. I hope you can. Might intend that you can. I apologize if the sound does drop a little bit. But I do like to try to keep my videos real and just share my experiences with you all. So yeah, so this time around I've been in Ibiza nearly 2 months. God, it's the longest time I've ever been away from home, ever. And home is England, Reading, my hometown. And yeah, I think the longest I was away before this was in August 21, when I came out to Ibiza, and I did 4 weeks with my business. I manifested that. Yeah, that was quite tough actually. Felt quite lonely. I was working really hard. It's a great experience. I don't regret it. Obviously, everything that you do is, taking a leap of faith in yourself. But yeah, I think, yeah, I felt a bit lonely really. But it was good. One thing actually that did happen to me was in 2021. Some of the restaurants here, they wouldn't allow me to sit in a particular place I wanted to. I could only sit where they told me because I was on my own. Didn't matter that I could have spent more money than another couple. But yeah, and guess what? Those restaurants, I'm never going back to. Made me feel like shit. And it's bloody awful, isn't it? This belief that you're only whole and complete if you're with somebody. And we all now know, obviously, you watch the videos on manifesting and healing, and you're complete with or without. And if you don't think you are, then you need to do a healing practice. So yeah, that wasn't a very nice thing for me to experience. Look at that, my hair's getting bigger already, the humidity. Oh, and you see here, my hair broke. And I've got a hair appointment when I get back. I can't wait, but it broke actually. I think it was the bleach. And I've just used straightening irons on it. I'm going to get some GHDs when I get back. I used a GHD hairdryer in a hotel that I stayed in, a little party hotel I went to for a few days. And oh my God, it was a game changer for me. So there's no need for straightening irons with this hairdryer. It was absolutely incredible. So yeah, when I get back, that's going to be my first purchase. So coming to the end of this mammoth experience, my God, you couldn't write it. I mean, I wrote down loads of things that I wanted to experience here. Actually, thinking about it, I think this video is going to be entitled something like walking away, saying goodbye, walking away. The experiences I've had out here have been like quite life-changing, really, to be honest. I also manifested so many I manifested so many things. I'd let go of so many things that have come into my reality now, and we'll see how things unfold there. But one of the things that I manifested, and by the way, none of this is paid adverts at all. I'm just doing this because I want to share my truth. There's a lady who has a shop in Ibiza Castle called Annie's Ibiza. And oh my God, her clothes are amazing. And before I came out to Ibiza, one of my affirmations was that I'm going to be walking head to foot. Oh, I'm going to be head to toes in Annie's Ibiza clothes, feeling and looking like $1 million. And I swear to God, I made it happen. I swear to God, I made it happen. And these clothes, I've not even worn half of them. Yeah, spent a lot of money. Sod it. Can't take it with you. So yeah, these clothes, honestly, it's like with my growth and my confidence, having more confidence, like the hotel I went to, my friend David said to me last year, you should go and stay there. I'm not going there. I can't do that. I'm not going there on my own. But I did this year, had the confidence. And just lost my thread. But yeah, the confidence that I'm radiating, like from my core, like my truth. This is me. No BS. This is me. Let's change hands holding this. It's now becoming an extension in my clothes as well. And fearlessly and courageously, not giving a flying F about what people think about what I wear. If the dress is see-through, it's see-through. If it's not, it's not. I don't care. I don't care. I feel so sexy, so stunning, so beautiful. And yeah, and that's all that matters, is what I think and what I feel. And if other people like it, great. And if they don't, great. But these clothes are just say things I would never have thought I could even get away with. You know, this actually links into like body change or body appearance. Like I used to have quite a bit of, not quite a bit, but like annoyingly amount of cellulite on the back of my thighs. And, you know, I mean, it's funny how when you manifest change in body appearance, the actions that you then effortlessly take, like body brushing and things like that, create the reality that you want. And now the back of my legs are so much smoother, and I'm able to wear these really short shorts and even have a little bum cheek showing, which I never thought in a million years I'd ever be able to do. And you know, I was just about to say, and at my age, but I'm timeless and youthful, and that's another thing that I tell myself. So I've manifested so much being out here. I've raised my confidence has grown to a level, honestly, where I just feel absolutely fearless. She says, thinking about the plane journey home, I hope there's no turbulence. Don't like turbulence. It's fine. But I feel fearless in, you know, whatever comes my way, as long as it feels right. I'll act on it. If it doesn't feel right, I won't act on it. Something massively happened to me while I was out here, or being out here. And the trust that I have in the process, not of manifesting as such, although I do trust that anyway, but the trust that I have in the process of, I guess it is manifesting, the letting go, being okay with or without, radiating confidence, magnetism, attracting that kind of high vibe level. Look, you see my hair sticking. But it's a trust in the flow, and that's a massive difference. It's just a trust in the flow, you know. It's just knowing that everything is working out. I've got a deeper connection with that now, that everything is working out for me and everything is always working out in my favor. See if I can explain a bit more. Well, it's like this really. So something happened to me in a good way, for me in a good way, something that I had actually been manifesting, but just let go of. And, you know, I'll share this, you know, when I have more 3D reality experience of it. So I'm not quite yet ready to share what that is. But what it did was this event that happened for me, which is a really lovely event that happened for me. Over the last few weeks, I've had an awesomely horrendous, rapid spiritual ascension, if you can say it that way. I've ascended rapidly to a new level. And finally, my heart is fully open. I always thought my heart was open after all the work I'd already done. But it's like knowing what good feels like. When you know what good feels like. So let's say, for example, somebody was really overweight, and they'd always been overweight, and they thought but they felt good. But then let's say that person then lost a lot of weight, and I'm just using this as an example, and then were really super healthy and super fit. They would then understand that level of good was nowhere near to the level of good that they're feeling now, if that makes sense. And it's the same with everything. We only know what we know, and we know what we know. And I knew a level of my heart being open, and now my heart is open. And maybe there'll even be another level of, my hair's getting big, maybe there'll even be another level of my heart opening even more. But at the moment, this is a level that I've not experienced. This level of trust in my subconscious, and experiencing lots of spiritual, you know, ancestors and my dog, and whether you choose to believe this or not, or you think this is woo-woo shit, that's okay. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to explain my journey, because somebody needs to hear this. Somebody needs to hear this. Maybe lots of people need to hear this. But so through opening my heart and trusting, honestly, it is incredible. Like, it's like I suddenly felt this euphoric, this wave of release. And to get to the heart opening fully as I can experience it as it is now, maybe there is another level, maybe there isn't, maybe this is it. I had to do something. I had to share some information with somebody. And I had held off and held off and held off and held off and held off. And I was doing anything other than that. I was doing anything other than that. And then, so what happened was I had this voice in my head saying, Natalie, you're here for a reason. And your purpose is to guide people to open their hearts. But there was one person in particular that it wanted me to guide to open their heart. And I was like, I can do that. It's fine. Piece of piss. I didn't know I was involved in the freaking process, which is quite cunning. And I can feel like laughter. Yeah, it's not funny. Well, it was funny. It's funny now. So I then started being given all these ideas and things that I could do to this person, not knowing that actually the person that I was helping at the same time was me. And so, like I said, I was trying every which way to kind of get this person to open up their heart. And then in the end, I just had to explain something to them, which again, I know I sounded like a bit cryptic, but I don't want to kind of say too much yet. So I had to say something to this person, and I really had to dig deep. I had to dig deep. I had to really go feel the fear and fucking do it anyway. Jesus Christ. And the thing is, on the outside, I make it look so easy. I make it look so easy, like yeah, it's all good. I was wrapping myself. I was absolutely wrapping myself. I was so scared. I don't know, I was so scared. But basically, like I said, I'll go into this in a bit more detail, but this rapid spiritual ascension, it's been this journey for the last few weeks of me not being pulled back by my 3D reality. So yeah, not my 3D reality, by my ego, by my past thoughts, by my past evidence, all of it. It was like my ego was like, right, guys, she hasn't been in this situation for a long time. It's about time we got ready to keep her where she belongs. And yeah, that's kind of what it felt like. And it was past evidence, thoughts, sleepless nights, weight loss. Honestly, I was having to really dig deep, really dig deep to not allow it to destroy me or what was kind of occurring for me. You know, speaking to my friend for hours at a time on the phone to distract me, and her helping me, and just so much that I was having to do. And the thing is, the thing that I needed to do, I didn't want to do. And when I did it, I got the release. I got the relief. I got the release and the relief. I got the freedom, more freedom, more freedom. Just to kind of, I've raised that another level. I've done it. I've done it. And the thing is, what's funny is that when we know what it is that we need to do, but the thing we don't do is the thing that keeps us in this perpetuating cycle of shit, of feeling anxious and scared and vulnerable and just doubting and fear and everything. Yet when we just take the bull by the horns, which I had to do because I have kind of a role in this too, but like I said, little did I know that this role was a part of me actually opening up my heart even further when I actually did it. And whilst, you know, like I said, I won't go into too much of this right now, but once I did it, once I let go of the fight and just went kind of, you know, fuck it. This is me, fuck it. But yes, there was still a lot of fears. There was still a lot of, but then, yeah, eventually it all kind of played out. And it was, oh my God, the journey. And then like I said, then I realized, I really hope this is making sense. And I realized that I'd opened my heart to another level. It felt just incredible. It felt incredible. And I feel so, if I thought I was courageous before, this is another level of courage. This is another level of feeling fearless, unstoppable. And it's not about the outcome. This is the thing. It's not about the outcome, or the outcome would be lovely. It's not about the outcome. This is about my journey. This is about my spiritual journey to healing myself and to guiding and helping people to heal others. So everything that I do, everything that I talk about, I do, you know, but now I'm on a different level of, not to you guys, but I'm just saying I'm on a different level to the, you know, I've released another version of me. So I've released another version of me. So, you know, just over a week ago, I was still this other version, and now I'm a new version because I've elevated. And, you know, and this is the thing about the spiritual path, the spiritual journey, you know, we're not invincible on it. I did have a client say to me once, oh, I'm doing my self-love practice and I fell down and hurt myself. Why is that? We're not invincible. We're not Superman. We're not Clark Kent. But basically this journey, the way I see it is you have like different layers, and you can only do a layer at a time for when you're ready. You can't go from here to here. It's like a stepping stone. It's not linear. You don't know how or when things are going to unfold, or when things are, you're going to get that feeling within where you've gone to a new level. But one thing I do know is when you hold on to fear, when you hold on to worry about what other people think, when you hold on to that because of past beliefs, you're blocking yourself from opening up your heart even further. So whether that's about a person, a relationship, job, business, you have to let that go. And that was the process that I had to go through. And I didn't realize, to be honest, that that's what I was having to do. But I did, and I have. And it was horrendous, awesomely horrendous. But yeah, I wouldn't want to go back there and have to do that again. Put it that way. It was pretty scary for me. Like I said, I make everything look so easy, but it's not. I'm a human, just like you, spiritual being, living a human existence, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, this rapid ascension has now taken me, my confidence, my magnetism, my attitude about myself, about life, releasing any kind of like even a tiny little bit of attachment. Just like it's just a new level. I can't explain it anymore. Maybe the more I go into this, the more I will, but it's fundamentally, I'm being my true self. I'm being my truth. I thought I was being my truth, but I wasn't, because I was scared about something. And now I know that I'm being my truth to this level. And maybe there, like I said, there'll be another truth and another truth. And it doesn't mean that everything's going to work out smoothly and easily and effortlessly. But all I know is that the more I learn to trust, or the more I trust, the more I let go, the more I get in the flow. I'm just not fighting for anything anymore. I'm just being me. And if people like that, great. And they want to stay in my life, great. And if people don't like that, great. They can leave. That's okay. I'm not hiding behind myself anymore. I'm not hiding behind, you know, clothes that are, you know, sensible. You know, I see my clothes as an extension of myself now. So yeah, things are changing rapidly, actually, for me. But in such an amazing, positive, healthy way. So yeah, I know that's been a little bit cryptic, but maybe one day I'll share the full story to an extent. Not obviously releasing names of people or anything like that, but maybe I'll share the full story one day. Who knows? We'll see. But I just wanted to share that the more we hold on, the more we're blocking ourselves. And through fear, I'm ascending. Through fear, I'm ascending. Through fear, I'm ascending. It feels so cool. It feels so cool. I feel just so, I love it. Oh, okay. So that's the rapid ascension, and you know, and yeah, the going with the flow. I'm just trusting that I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be, and if I'm not supposed to be where I'm not supposed to be, I'm trusting that if I set plans and I need to change the plans, like, you know, when I think about, you know, before I left Ibiza in June, I was supposed to be going to America for 2 weeks, and when I was here at the end of June, I changed my plans. I just didn't want to spend the money going to America. I went to see a client for a few days. I said, I don't want to spend the money out there. And that was my belief. I don't want to spend my money out there. So I changed that. You know, there was no other reason. I just changed it and cancelled my flights. And then, you know, 2 days after getting home from Ibiza in June, I'd booked for 2 months here. And all these things had to happen. You know, it's the bridge of incidents, you see. And there are some bridge of incidents that, oh my God, that I hopefully will be able to share, you know, one day, not too far from now. And honestly, the bridge of incidents for things to happen, even for me to get to that party hotel, oh my God, is incredible. Absolutely incredible. You know, you couldn't write it. You could not write it. So, yeah, never try to work out the how. It's never going to be how you think it's going to be. So, yeah, so letting go, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's not pleasant feeling. I was petrified, actually, to be honest. Like I know I made it look easy, but it wasn't at all. But I'm so glad I did it. So, listening to your subconscious mind is another thing that I wanted to talk about, because getting hot. Your subconscious mind truly knows you more than you know yourself. It does. And your ego is, if you are still in your program, your ego is going to be really strong. It's going to be loud. It's going to be strong. It's going to be all encompassing. It's going to feel awful. It's going to bring awful thoughts to you about yourself. It's going to bring you evidence of how people have treated you, experiences, to prove that this is true for you. To keep you stuck. But when you do your self-love practice, affirmations, inner child forgiveness, meditations, the more you're releasing that program, the more you're able then to hear your subconscious mind. Literally just saying, come this way, bringing you ideas, opportunities. And because you're in a place now of being able to hear it, because you're quieting down that voice to enable that voice to, which has always been there, but because the ego is so freaking loud, your program mind is so loud, its habits, its familiarity, you don't hear it. I never heard mine for years, decades. I didn't. All I heard was horrendousnesses. It was horrible. So glad I bravely kept going to get myself where I am today. So glad. And you can too. It just takes digging deep, knowing that it's not always going to be easy, but that it does get easier. And then we grow again. Dresses. It does get easier. So your subconscious mind is your kind voice. It's saying, you're worthy of this. You're worthy of them. It's saying, I love you. It's saying, come this way. We've got a really good opportunity for you. But if you just let go of that, we can bring this to you. And that's the thing, it's the letting go of. And that's what people find really hard. So it's that saying goodbye to. It's like if you're in a really shit job, you know, people would rather keep going into this shit job rather than trusting that actually that job isn't right for them. And if they did just, I'm not saying that you should all leave and get yourselves into a pickle with bills or anything, but if you did just leave, for example, you're basically saying, I'm worth more. So if you're saying I'm worth more, then the universe can go, right, okay, you know, that person's now taking this action. Yes, they're scared. Yes, they're worried. It's going to be okay, because it always is, because you're saying you're worth more than what you are allowing. Therefore, you're enabling the space to bring in what it is that you truly deserve, you know, and whether that's a business or whatever it is that you're wanting. But the more we hold on to, you know, every time, guys, every single frigging time I was holding on to people that weren't right for me, because I love people. I love being around people. I'm such a tigger, you know, and I just love people's energies, and when, you know, some people come into your life and you think, oh, they're going to be this way and they're going to be like this and they're going to be like that, and then you start to see red flags and you're like, well, why is this happening? But it's, again, doesn't really matter why it's happening. The fact is, if you hold on, I need to stand up. Oh, it's hot. I need to, you know, it's when you're holding on to people, and you know it doesn't feel right. You know it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. But you hold on to them because you have a belief in them, or maybe you hold on to them because you're a bit like, oh, they're all I've got. Or, you know, with the couple of people this year that came into my life very quickly, and they left very, very quickly when I saw their true colors. Yeah, and what I do is I kind of observe. So with both of them, these two people, I saw red flags. So at this point, I see a red flag. I'm like, okay, I'll just sit back and observe. And then you see another red flag. And I'm not talking about somebody I'm not talking about something little. These aren't little things. These are red flags that I will just not have in my life. I will not be treated like I'm an option. I will not be spoken to like I'm a piece of shit. Yeah, I will not be used, put it that way. And so with these two people, this is exactly what I was feeling like with both of them, but just at different times. One was earlier this year, and she actually ended up doing the dirty work for you. The universe is very clever. And the fact that, you know, you don't even end up having to do anything. All you do is you pull your energy back. They maybe react, and then you're seeing even more of their true colors, and you just let it go. You don't have to react. You don't have to do anything. You just let them go. It's exactly what I did with both of these people. And you see, the thing is, as well, by doing that, I'm saying that I'm worth more. I am worth more. So if we are holding on to what it is that we don't want, well, if we're holding on to something, we can't then bring the right things in. And I was saying, you know, I want to be surrounded by high vibrational people, but I had to let those go because they weren't high vibrational, to bring in the high vibrational, you see, because you can't say I'm, you know, a high vibration person holding on to low vibrational people. But I had to recognize, and it was about 3 red flags with both of them. I was like, yeah, no, I'm done. That's it. And it's not easy, by the way, because I love people and I hate having to do it. But at the end of the day, I'm worth more. And everything that I've been through, I'm not holding on to people to block the right people to come into my reality. It's just no way. So, and in actual fact, then the people that I've met in Ibiza are so high vibrational. It's incredible. You know, they're wonderful people, really lovely, kind, thoughtful, genuine human beings. And honestly, that wouldn't have been able to happen if I'd held on to these other people. And there's another part of the story, which again, maybe I'll share one day with you. So it's saying goodbye, even when it doesn't feel good at the time. And it didn't with this last person I had to let go of, who I thought was a friend. You know, I had to take myself off to the beach. I had to really let go. My ego was coming in saying, oh, you know, Natalie, you're not going to have any friends left. And I just thought, well, then I won't have any friends left. You know, and it's as simple as that. I'm worth more. So, you know, I had to ignore the ego. I had to distract myself. And actually, I ended up writing a draft of a new workshop that when I get home, I'm going to put more energy into. So, you know, I took my mind off it, and then the feelings just dissipated, and I just got on with things. But it wasn't easy to start with. But that's the thing, when we let go of what doesn't serve us, it doesn't always feel right, but it is right. It is. But you have to do it when you're ready. So listening to your subconscious mind is really key to getting you where you need to be, really. And you can only hear it when you self-heal, and you can only then recognize your worth. You can only recognize your worth when you're through that healing process. And then you recognize your worth through the healing process, then you can observe and be aware of what's right and what isn't. Then you can let go of what isn't right for you even more, and then the right things can come to you. And it sounds super easy, and I know it's not, but you know, bit by bit, day by day, it gets easier. So yeah, walking away from what no longer serves you. And like I said, it takes me a few red flags to see, but you know, better than 5 or 6 years, which is what happened in my last romantic relationship. So, you know, I'm getting better. So I like to tell myself I'm getting a lot better. So walking away. Yeah. Yeah, coming home. Oh my goodness, honestly, if I'd recorded this video a couple of weeks ago, I think I would have probably cried, actually. Really, honestly, about leaving Ibiza, because I'd love to get home out here. I'd love to be able to come out here, you know, part of the year or whenever I wanted, really. It's such a magical place for me. I have spiritual ascensions. I'm always growing when I come out here. I'm always learning more about myself. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy for me. So yeah, a few weeks ago, I think I would have cried the thought of leaving and going home. But I think from that spiritual ascension, that rapid spiritual ascension over the last few weeks, and then obviously it happening to me last Monday, I mean, it's just opened my eyes even further to, and whilst yes, I letting go of Ibiza for now so I can come back, but I'm more in the flow state of it is what it is, it will be, it will be, it won't be, it won't be, you know, everything's working out for me. I'm more in that flow state of trusting that it is now time for me to go home, and things are going to unfold for me. I don't quite know how things are going to unfold. Some things I think are going to unfold the way I would like them to, but you know, I'm not holding on to that. And I don't feel like I'm going back in, not that I was in lack, but I think going back home to the weather as well. Christ. When you're cold in 26 degrees when it's a cloudy day here, and you know the temperatures in England, I think it's like 17 degrees today or something ridiculous. God. Anyway, it's what it is. But you see, that was my way of thinking. And maybe the weather bit is still a little bit of the way I'm thinking, but you know, it's like, you know, I can get my winter clothes out. I don't have to, you know, and just open up myself to experiences, more experiences, the unknown, embracing the unknown, you know, the twists and turns of how my business is going to unfold, things that I've been manifesting, and seeing whether, you know, that comes into my reality, and just trusting. Again, it's just trusting that everything is working out for me. I don't have to force anything anymore at all. You know, affirming, like, you know, I used to be affirming. I'm just like, you know what? I've done the affirming. I know I'm abundant. I know I'm prosperous. I know that I'm lovely and loving. I know that I'm worthy of a loving, healthy, committed relationship. I know that I'm worthy of becoming a conscious millionaire. I know that I'm worthy of all my other dreams and all my desires, which, you know, I would love to share with you one day when they obviously manifest in my reality. I'm worthy of it all. I am, and I just don't feel like there's any need to kind of keep going over and over and over the same thing when it comes to my affirmations anymore. I'm done with it. I don't want to live that way anymore. I don't want to have to keep massively affirming. I want to go in and just become the version of me consistently that is that person, that has these experiences, that has that relationship, that has the you know, the money, all those things, the body, the timeless youthful looks. Well, I tell myself, why not? It works. So yeah, going home. I'm very excited now. I feel ready. And like I said, this is going to go out on the Wednesday, and I fly back on Thursday. So yeah, no, I feel totally ready to come home. I'm not sure what my accountant's going to think about my expenses. It certainly isn't cheap, but it's been the most incredible summer I've had of my entire life. And actually, the day before I flew out to Ibiza, or the evening before, knowing that I was going to come out here for 2 months, I did have a little, oh my God, can I do this? And I got to the airport and I was like, of course I can. What is it I can't do? Be in the sun, having fun, meeting new people. Exactly. So yeah, it's all been incredibly life-changing. Yeah. And I don't regret anything that I've done. I don't regret anything. It's just been wonderful. Oh, so it's a lot of this stuff really is about being brave. It is about going, fuck it. You know, just fuck it. Fuck it. You know, it's like, fuck it. I'm going to open my heart. I'm going to explain something. Fuck it. I'm going to just do this. Fuck it. Just fuck it. Fuck it. You know, it really is just like, you know what? When you're in that place of just, you know, and whilst you can still have a bit of a wobble, waiting for a response or for things to kind of work out, you know, you bravely, courageously put yourself forward. So whatever the outcome is, it doesn't matter, because you've already ascended, even by doing that, even by taking that leap of faith in yourself and your worth. So saying goodbye to Ibiza. I don't know. I mean, I've still got a few days. I need to calculate this whole bloody Brexit 180, 90-day rule, because I need to kind of calculate that. But I think at the moment I've got about 4 days left to take for the whole of Europe. So I may come back in October for a few days. We'll see. I'll see what the weather's like. See how things go. Or go somewhere different. So anyway, what have I missed? And what am I looking forward to? Right, well, look. So I had these nails done here, which they did a really good job. So there is, if you do come to Ibiza, there's a place called Top Nails in Ibiza town. They're really lovely, really lovely. But I didn't want to get them redone again, because I'm going to get them done on Friday when I'm back in England. And I had to have them shortened because they got so long. And then a couple of them have just come off because I have gel nails. It just lasts longer. So I'm really looking forward to seeing my nail manicurist and getting my nails done. First world things. I'm looking forward to getting this done. My God. I've been treating my hair, so hopefully my hair just won't have to chop my hair too much. So I'm looking forward to seeing her as well. She's lovely. I'm looking forward to this sounds so first world things. I'm really looking forward to having a facial. I like looking after myself. I shouldn't be embarrassed about that. I like looking after my skin. I do lots for my skin actually, but like really easy stuff. Like whereas before, you know, my story, my skin was really being destroyed by all these treatments that I was having with this particular lady. And now I found a proper skin specialist who knows her stuff. And I've actually been doing something. I've been using, oh, I can't remember what it's called now. I'll have to share that story another time. But I do micro needling once a week on my face, but I had to get my skin into a particular level of health again, because it will, like I said, it had been totally being destroyed by this other stuff that I was having done. And yeah, that's another story. So anyway, so I'm looking forward to that and seeing her. She's Victoria, so I'm looking forward to seeing her. Oh my God, food! I've written down here food. Oh, and I'm looking forward to some other beauty treatments. I don't need to mention what they are. Oh, and getting my eyebrows done. So food. I have missed Tesco's hummus. I am going to, on Thursday evening, get a couple of pots and I'm going to devour them. You cannot get good hummus here. I've spent about 30 euros on hummus. Oh my God. There's no point. Next time I'm going to bring some out here. I'll just put it in my suitcase and put it in a freezer or something. Yeah, so I can't wait to have hummus with broccoli. I love parboiled broccoli. Oh, geez, I'm so healthy. I'm really not that healthy. I like alcohol too much to be healthy. But yeah, I love broccoli and hummus. Oh my God, and carrots with the hummus. It's all about the hummus. And I cannot wait to do like a chili con carne. Oh my God, and have loads of cheese on top. What else can't I wait? I can't remember the last time I had a roast dinner. I love roast dinners, but just trying to think what else. Oh, I don't know. I think just that really. I really, really want to have some chili con carne. So yeah, like I said, with loads of cheese. Even a vegetable chili would be lovely. So I'm looking forward to that. You know what I'm going to be eating when I get home. But I really fancy Marks and Spencer's chocolate cake, and I think I might have spoken about this before in one of these videos, but they do this for those of you that are in the UK, or if you have a Marks and Spencer's in your country. Ow, just stung myself. They do these birthday cakes, but they do a smaller version. It's £7.50 or something. Oh my God, it's amazing. The thing is, so the only sugar that I've been eating is in alcohol. So when I've been drinking alcohol, so there's sugar in alcohol. So if I've been beer, I'm having sugar that way. I haven't actually had any sugar since before I left the UK in food, because everything I make is fresh. So having that Marks and Spencer's chocolate cake, I might only be able to have a mouthful of it because the sugar rush, I don't know. The last thing I want to do is have a sugar hangover, because can be worse than alcohol hangovers. So yeah, we'll see. I might have to break myself into eating chocolate. What a problem to have. So yeah. So I think this is it for me, guys. I really hope that this video is inspiring you all to keep going, to dig in deep, and like what I talked to you about, my spiritual ascension, my rapid spiritual ascension to the next level. Jesus Christ, it was horrible. But I dug deep, kept going, wasn't going to give up. When you know what you want, fundamentally, you get to that place and you're trusting, like I said, the subconscious. I mean, I felt like spiritual guides, ancestors, my dog, everything, like my dog jumping up at me. You know, I felt like everybody was applauding me, willing me on, you know, and any time kind of, you know, I was feeling a bit wobbly, I would feel the arms around me saying, you're doing great. We love you, Natalie. You're so lovely. You're loved. You're doing great. Everything's going to be okay. I literally had all of that because it was so hard for me to do what I had to do. But I did it. I did it. But it wasn't easy. But this is a thing. Things that we want generally aren't easy. And yes, that's an assumption, but that's my truth. But it's only not easy because you're holding on to what it is that you need to do and not doing it, whether that's letting go or speaking up or whatever it is, leaving a job or, you know, whatever it is. You know, I remember when I left my corporate role, oh my God, I was so scared, but I knew I was never going back, not to that hellhole. Bloody awful job. You know, so, you know, I had to let that go to build my business. And then it was feeling the fear and doing it anyway with my business and letting go of relationships. And, you know, all of this is all a part of your growth. The wind's just picking up. I hope you can hear me still. And yeah, all of this is a part of your growth. If you choose to accept it, the challenge is there, and it is like a challenge. But then it can become a bit of a game in a nice way, in a fun way, I guess. So I'm just walking back to this cacti. How cool is that? So yeah, okay. I really hope, like I said, guys, that, you know, this video has helped. I'm going to take you in so I can actually see you properly. Oh, and I'm in the aircon too. This is actually, it's a bit of a mess. So, oh, there we go. Look at me sweating. It's a bit of a mess on my bed because I wanted to make myself look nice for the video. But yeah, look at the clothes. Can I get them in the suitcase? Of course I can. So here we go. Last video for Ibiza. Well, it's nice to be in the aircon. Gosh, what will await me when I get home? Everything is working out for me. Everything's always working out in my favor. And yours too. So like I said, guys, I really hope this video has helped. You know, please feel free to share this if you think this is going to help somebody else as well. Please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please comment, guys, on what you think. I know this is a long video and it might be a little bit waffly, but, you know, when it comes to my becoming a Natalie Dance and Authentically Me videos, I just go with it. I just go with the flow. So there you go. Sending you so much love from my Ibiza, and I will see you again back in the UK. Mwah. Loads of love. Bye.